Greetings! These next couple of weeks I'm going to be doing something just a little different than usual. I'll be talking about Japanese monsters. While there are some passing similarities between the mythological monsters and spirits in the Christian tradition, broadly construed, and the Japanese tradition, it's better to think of Japan's rich culture of supernatural and invisible beings as more or less entirely separate. In the next few shorts, I'll give you a brief introduction to some of these phenomena in Japan. First, let's do what I sometimes call coming to terms. Just like we might understand ghosts to be different from demons, from monsters, Japan has some general categories of supernatural creatures as well. Oftentimes, when I'm teaching Japanese monstrosity, I offer students 5 categories that are somewhat useful for thinking with. Today, we'll only talk about the first category, kaibutsu. The first kanji, that is, Chinese characters that were brought to Japan, for kaibutsu means bewitching, attractive, or calamity, while the second just means thing. Thus, a kaibutsu is a calamitous or bewitching thing. Generally speaking, this is the least morally charged out of all of the categories that we will look at, and not coincidentally have terms which are often the most frequently used to refer to Japanese supernatural beings. Here we would find a general type of being that is familiar to a lot of Western fans of anime and manga, the yokai. Yokai are probably one of the broadest categories of beings in Japan. The only common thread that links them is that they're typically used to explain phenomena of which there is no apparent cause. For instance, there's a yokai called the Adzuki Arai, that is literally just the bean washer. Supposedly, this creature can be heard by riversides washing beans and might lure individuals into the water to their deaths. It probably originates from the sound of pebbles being swirled in the water, or water lapping against the riverbanks, or some other sound in the night that can't be fully identified. At the same time, yokai bear a relationship with kami, a complicated term that is often rendered God in English. Kami also explain mysterious phenomena, but they are subject to worship, whereas yokai are not. Thus, we could say that yokai are kami that are not worshipped, or that kami are yokai that are worshipped. Even this isn't a terribly clear distinction, because you can sometimes find common yokai, such as this kappa and tono, that are subject to worship, in this case to provide abundant breast milk for new children. The other element that I often place within kaibutsu is another one that might be familiar to those in the West, the idea of kaiju. While kaiju literally just means strange beast, it's recently shifted its semantic meaning to be applied to extremely large monsters. So think things like Godzilla, Mothra, and Ghidorah. Those would all be considered kaiju. Now that's all for now, but in the next short, we'll be talking a bit more about one particular kind of yokai, and this one is one of my favorites, the kitsune, or the fox spirit.